so I just got back from seeing the latest DreamWorks film. This is Captain Underpants, and I went into this totally fresh. I'd seen the trailer, but that was it, really. I've never read any of the books. I didn't really know anything about the story or what was going to happen or hardly anything. So I had no sort of expectations going into this Captain Underpants. That doesn't sound like the kind of movie that I would typically like. But anyway, so I went in, and you know what? I was really charmed by this film. I really liked it. I actually think this is better than the Lego Batman movie. I honestly do. I was surprised. Its two greatest strengths are, first, it is very visually inventive, and I love seeing that in animation. It used a ton of 2D animation, which was so refreshing and great. And in very unpredictable, exciting ways. You never knew kind of what was going to be changed. The way they sort of incorporated comic book styles and sketch styles and so many different styles of drawing and animation was so cool. And then they even had a stop motion section at a certain point that was very unexpected and fun. And so it was just visually, even in the non 2D stop motion sequences, the animation was very, I thought, pleasant to look at, and very kind of had that a little bit of a feel of the Peanuts movie, which I really love that animation. And so I thought that visually and creatively it was a huge win for DreamWorks. I really enjoyed it. And then the other big strength to it is that it is funny, and I actually laughed at toilet humor, which is really rare. Like, it is probably the hardest thing to get me to think like a fart joke or a whoopee cushion joke is funny, but I laughed at a number of those jokes, and there are too many of them in this, I will say, but I laughed at quite a few of them, and that's tough to do. And there was a lot of other jokes that were really funny. It's about these kids that create this character, Captain Underpants, and they write these stories, and I really liked how it did that for kids. You know, that it wasn't about kids just absorbing entertainment, as we see awesome. These were kids that created their own comic books, their own stories, their own visuals. That was awesome, I thought. That's a great thing to show kids. And they have this horrible principal who's just making things so bad, but they are trying to sort of make the kids happy by doing all of these pranks. And they have this great relationship, these two kids. And I liked the fact that you have a black kid and a white kid, and it's not an issue ever discussed. It's just natural, like it is for kids. You know, I liked that. That was effortless. It was great. And I could nitpick that I'm not crazy about them using adult actors to voice these kids, but I was able to get over that. It's still not my favorite choice, but you know, oh well. Anyway, you have Kevin Hart and you have Thomas Middlechurch voicing the two boys. And they were just really charming together. They really felt like friends. And I really liked how the scariest thing for them is if the principal were to make them be in different classes. Because I remember that as a kid, you know, you'd get your class schedule and you'd be like, oh, I went with my friend, And there's this, they say at a certain point, it's like, well, they say at a certain point when the principal says he's going to split them up, and you know, they're like, well, long distance relationships never work out. Because it does kind of feel that way when you're a kid, that, oh, if they're not in my class, then we're not even going to be friends anymore. Because all of this, I thought that was really, really good. And they just had a really nice friendship that I liked to see. Play up on a lot of tropes of comic book movies and superheroes and different things like that. They have a villain named Professor Poopy Pants, which, again, I actually got some laughs, surprisingly, from the toilet humor in here. It was actually pretty funny, but the script in general was just so funny. I laughed a lot. And it had a lot of different kinds of humor. It had a lot of jokes, but they worked the jokes into the story a little bit more effortlessly than some other comedies where it feels like you're just kind of being thrown a lot of jokes. This, it was just sort of worked into the story. Like, for instance, they have this woman who is, who they pull a prank and get her to be on hold. And every time you see her, then she's still waiting on hold. And that joke totally paid off and was funny and kind of worked into the story. And I mean, this is a million times better than Trolls. This is a million times better than Home, that's for sure. Than most of the DreamWorks films that I've seen lately. I really thought it was funny, and it was so visually inventive and creative, and it had a nice heart to it, nice message for kids, and the kids that went with me, they also thought it was really funny. So I don't know how it compares with the books and what fans of the books will think, but I just know I had a blast. I thought it was really good. And so I'm gonna give this an A-. I really enjoyed it. And so let me know what you think of Captain Underpants. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later.